Douglas Allen Bickford. It is the 6th of August 2022 at about 9:15 a.m. here, Pacific Standard Time, broadcasting live out of my 105-year-old house here in Klamath Falls, Oregon, which is my hometown. I am a self-taught psychiatrist, therapist, counselor. I specialize in emotional, sexual, and physical abuse. The reason I am self-taught, I do not have a degree from a college. I am self-taught because I have thousands of hours of study how the mind works underneath my belt. Through the internet, through my therapist, my psychiatrist, who is she's my trainer. She trained me for well over pushing 2 years. How the mind works. Okay. So I am qualified to help you. And the reason I specialize in emotional, physical, and sexual abuse is because I am a victim of it. I have taught myself how to heal myself. It's very traumatic for us to go through sexual, emotional, physical abuse. Unfortunately, most of the planet has been emotionally, sexually, or physically abused to the tune of billions of people. And people don't get help for it because they're embarrassed. They think they're weak if they ask for help. But it doesn't make you weak to ask for help. I got lucky. I fixed myself, okay, because I learned how the mind works from Dr. Susanna McMahon. Anyway, to have a healthy mind, okay, and be positive about how, where, and what you are, you have to attain a thing called self-esteem. What self-esteem is also known as self-confidence, self-worth, self-love. That's how you feel about yourself inside. Think of self-esteem as this way. Most people don't even know what the two words even mean because nobody's teaching it. That's why I'm here to help you attain and maintain self-esteem. But here's what it is. We've all been in romantic relationships. You know that good feeling when you first meet that person? You're both on cloud nine. You're bragging to all your family, friends, your soulmates. This is what you're telling everybody. You're going to die together. You're never going to separate. This is what you're telling each other. And really, it feels like that, right? But I've had that feeling several times. And what self-esteem is that good feeling towards yourself. Dr. Susanna McMahon, 73, lives in Madrid, Texas, wrote this book, The Portable Therapist, in the 90s. It was published in 1992. Has a doctorate in psychology. She's also my trainer. She also has a master's in philosophy. She has counseled and been a therapist, a psychiatrist for thousands of clients. Every lesson in this book talks about how we've been trained and taught not to have a healthy mind and not to have self-esteem. So she knew when her clients would hire her as a psychiatrist and pay her big bucks to fix their unhealthy mind, to help them fix their unhealthy mind, she knew that you have to have, or knows that you have to have self-esteem in order to have a healthy mind. Okay? So she had to come up with a way to get her clients to give themselves self-esteem. Nobody can give you self-esteem except for you. And so here's that very simple concept that Dr. Susanna McMahon came up with. And what I am teaching now, it's called mirror therapy. You say 4 things to yourself in the mirror daily, okay? I love you. I love my inner child. I'm worthy to be loved. I'm worthy to love. I am full of goodness. Those 4 things to yourself in the mirror daily, instead of criticizing yourself, folks, will automatically give you self-esteem. Like instantaneously, you feel it as soon as you say that to yourself in the mirror. But to maintain that self-esteem, you have to practice it. It's like lifting weights. You start lifting weights, you stop, you have to start over from scratch. Self-esteem is the exact same thing for the brain. So you have to say it daily, okay? But trust me, it's a lot easier than lifting weights. I've done that, you know. It'll take you less than 10 seconds. I love Douglas Allen Bickford. I love my inner child. I'm worthy to be loved. I'm worthy to love. I'm full of goodness. It will change you from the inside out. Guaranteed, okay? And the reason she came up with mirror therapy and why it's so powerful is we cannot lie to ourselves in the mirror. It's a psychological event that happens in your brain. You can't look dead straight in your eyes and say something that you don't believe. So that's why when you get in front of the mirror in the morning, we're all in front of the mirror every day, it's very easy for you to criticize yourself whether you think it or say it. And because that's how you feel about yourself. You can't lie to yourself in the mirror by saying 4 good things to yourself in the mirror, or any good things to yourself, period, because you don't feel that way about yourself. So, the very first time you do it, folks, you'll have to force yourself to do it. It'll seem very strange and awkward, just like how you felt when I told you to look at yourself in the mirror and say, I love you. Feels very weird, sounds very weird, right? But force yourself to do it anyway, and the more you say it, the more you feel it, and the more you're going to believe it. And then you'll very easily, confidently compliment yourself, and not just about saying I love you in the mirror, but you'll be able to compliment yourself about other stuff that you have accomplished. And then you'll be able to compliment others. I kid you not. It works. It worked on me, and that's why I'm very confidently helping you out there heal from emotional, sexual, and physical abuse, because most of us it has happened to us. Okay. Like I said, I'm a victim of all of it, okay, by my parents. The reason self-esteem is the absolute most important thing you can have as a human being. You gotta wonder why nobody's teaching you how to get it, because they don't want us to have it for whatever reason. Is because we can't be content without it. What content means is you feel good about how, where, and what you are. It's also known as internal peace. There are 11 things that people are using to try to be content. They are all the social media, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, drugs, alcohol, sex, food, gambling, television, religion, another person, material possessions, or money. Those 11 things are known as externals. They're outside of yourself. They will make you feel content, internal peace, temporarily, but the good feeling never lasts. Just think about the drug high and the alcohol buzz. It all goes away, so you have to do more to get the same good, content feeling, right? And then the other 9 things are exactly the same. There's absolutely only one thing that's going to make you content, have internal peace, and that is to attain and maintain self-esteem. And that is by saying 4 things to yourself in the mirror daily without fail. for the rest of your life. The other reason that it is so vital and the absolute most important thing you can have as a human being is we can't love without it. We can't be loved without it. So what happens is people without self-esteem will attract people without self-esteem. So when you get together with these people without it, whether you marry them, you don't marry them. After the good feeling goes away, the relationship becomes toxic. That's when the name calling starts, the cheating, the lies that you tell each other, the going to bars, picking up strangers to have sex with, the fights, the name calling, the going down the road in the car, trying to get away from the person you're with. Both parties are talking to their family and friends and how terrible these people are to you. And then because the relationship turned toxic, you'll divorce or separate. Then what happens is the exact same thing. The people that get divorced or separate will go find other people to be with and trying to find that good feeling again, trying to get happy, right? And then the exact same thing will happen because you got in another relationship without self-esteem. Okay? The next thing that will happen, it's why you've been married more than once. It's why you've had many failed relationships. It's why I've been married 4 times, right? And they call that relationship jumping. Okay? I've done it my whole life, up until I was 65 years old. Never again will I get in a toxic relationship, because the next person I attract will have self-esteem. She will love herself, okay? Just like I love myself. Anyway, so the next thing that'll happen is the people that get in these relationships without self-esteem will stay in that relationship forever. And everything that, they know it's gone. They sleep in separate bedrooms. The sex is gone. It's all gone. They don't even like each other anymore. The little innuendos and all that stuff that go on. And then all the emotional, sexual, and physical abuse that those two dished out to themselves and to their children all gets swept under the rug. And at that point, it becomes a dysfunctional family. And the dysfunctional families produce more dysfunctional families down the line. So their kids get into dysfunctional relationships. And the cycle continues. The very last thing that'll happen, the two that got in without self-esteem, they will exit out of the romantic scene and just say, screw it, I'm going to be alone for the rest of my life because I can't find anybody to love me. I can't find anybody to love. So they'll use the 11 things, television's a huge thing, to make themselves content, try to make themselves content. But you can't be content and have eternal peace until you attain and maintain self-esteem. So they'll be just as miserable in that relationship as they were when they were with somebody. So there is a cure, there's a fix for all of you out there. It is to attain and maintain self-esteem, all parties involved. Say 4 things to yourself in the mirror daily, all of you, and then you will attain a permanent contentness, and you will attain internal peace. Then you won't have to use the 11 things to make yourself content anymore. And then all parties involved get this book, go through the other many concepts in this book that will help you fix your unhealthy mind. And if a person is in a toxic relationship, is dead, it's over, and the person you're with doesn't want to change, then it'll give you the strength and the courage to remove yourself and not get abused anymore. It works like that, folks. It worked on me. I'll never be in another toxic relationship. But I'm not done with romantic relationships either. The woman that is right for me is going to come around. Okay? But I'm not looking. She's going to have to knock on my door, man, call me up and say, I'm from God for you. You know. Because you can't love or be loved without self-esteem. Okay? And so I refuse to get in another one. I've been in 4 of those marriages, and they all turned out bad because everybody I married had no self-esteem, zippo. And that's the way it is. Okay. So that's everything that'll happen because of Q that gets involved with no self-esteem. I'm going through this book one lesson at a time. Here's that next lesson. Lesson number 2. What is the meaning of life? The only way to deal with this question therapeutically rather than philosophically is to qualify the question to either what is the meaning of my life, or what is the meaning of life for me? By personalizing the question, we have changed it significantly from something abstract and out of our control to something more concrete and manageable for ourselves. Each of us now has a choice about what we consider important and how we prioritize the essentials of our own life. The meaning of our life, because of its subjective nature, must be found within each person. The answer cannot be found in the externals. It cannot be found in another person. Unfortunately, it cannot be handed to us, either in book form or in therapy. The best that another person can do is to function as a guide, to point out new directions and perhaps provide some new materials which may lead to insight. And that's what I am for you folks. The 4 things to yourself in the mirror will give you internal peace and self-esteem on steroids, I kid you not. That's something that nobody's ever told you before. Okay. The best another person can do for you is function as a guide to point out new directions and perhaps provide some new materials which may lead to insight. Others may help us learn new perspectives and present choices that we may not have thought of by ourselves. The answer to discovering the meaning of your life lies in the exploration of yourself. You give meaning to your life. The unexplored life is not a life. At best, it is only part of a life. This exploration of yourself, your life, may well be your life's work. And it's my life's work to help you out there, not only for myself, but for you, and teach yourself how to heal yourself, all of you that have been emotionally, sexually, or physically abused. Because like I said, most of the planet has. Okay. And I'm going to continue to do it. You have not heard the last of Douglas Allen Bickford here in Klamath Falls, Oregon, man. I am bound and determined to help you learn how to love yourself so you can have a healthy mind. It is difficult, painful, and requires great courage. And it's all true, man. In order to explore who you are and what your life is about, you must be willing to acquire objective eyes to really see yourself. This means that you must let go of myths, illusions, and expectations that have accompanied you and helped you avoid the pain of living. Television's huge, folks. It's an illusion, and people are using it like a drug. I refuse to watch it. I will not watch it unless it's like an old VHS movie or something like that. You know, you must be willing to ride the pain and drop your defenses. This is hard work, And like most explorations, involves commitment, encouragement, and energy. Along the way, you will learn the art of loving, first towards yourself, which is the 4 things to yourself in the mirror daily without fail, and later towards others. The result of this exploration of yourself in your life is that you will learn the art of being whole, of being balanced. All aspects of you, mental, emotional, spiritual, interactive, are in harmony and work together. You become more at peace with yourself and with your world. That's what the internal peace is you'll get by attaining and maintaining self-esteem. In the process of exploring your life, it helps you to begin by looking for the meanings of life in the small, everyday acts of courage that are always present. Recognizing that life is lived in the moment, the here and now, and not in the past, also helps. It takes an act of courage to stop time jumping from the past to the future and to stay focused on the present. Every day, I say to myself, I will not live in the past in guilt. I will not live in the future in anxiety. I will live in the now. And anytime I start going to the future, like getting in anxiety, I tell myself, you're not going to live in the past in guilt. You're not going to live in the future in anxiety. You're going to live in the now. And this is how you heal yourself, folks. It's called self-affirmations, positive affirmations. Never say anything bad about yourself. Changing the idea that time is replaceable and money is not, to the exact opposite, and then living accordingly also requires courage. You will be going against the teachings of the Western world, and this is what the television, the Facebooks, the social media is all about. They've taught us not to love ourselves, folks, not to have healthy minds. That's just a few of the things they've done to us. But they're using the television to do it, okay? The meaning of life is to be found in the understanding of the concepts of paradox, practice, and behavior. Life is paradoxical on all levels, and this concept is explained in the next question, which is the next lesson. The best approach to understanding practice is to use the metaphor theater. This life is a rehearsal for what is to come, and rehearsals are a process which allows making mistakes in order to learn. If you're lucky and have good direction, you will receive encouragement while you are learning, and that's what I can be for you, folks. I can encourage you to keep doing what you're doing when you start feeling it. When you start saying those 4 things to yourself in the mirror every day. Because the more you say it, the more you feel it, and the more you're going to believe it, and the more healthy-minded you're going to get. If you're lucky and have good direction, you will receive encouragement while you are learning. But unlike the theater, we do not know when the final performance will occur. Because we all die, folks. That's reality. The rehearsing, the process, becomes our performance. Living means practicing just as life means process. The third concept, humor, provides the bridge that allows us to live with the contradictions of life and death, sanity and insanity, good and evil. By using humor, by laughing at ourselves and with others, we can learn that life is not that serious, not that important, and not that unbearable. Woo! There's another very powerful lesson for you, folks. I'm going to have another one for you tomorrow, which is lesson number 3. What is the meaning of paradox? You all to remember to say 4 things to yourself in the mirror daily, without fail, for the rest of your life, literally. Then call me for your free therapy sessions 1 time a week, 1 hour a week, 4 times a month. And I can help you and encourage you to attain and maintain self-esteem. And we will go through this book together, folks. And I will help you, okay? I've healed myself. I can help heal you too. And you can heal, okay? Then you will be positive about who, where, what you are. And towards yourself and towards others and your world. 458-232-5238. Call me anytime. Y'all have a great Saturday out there.